Looking back on the year 2022, Africa has proved resilient despite many challenges besetting the continent. This year, the fallout of COVID-19 pandemic has continued to weigh on the region's economic growth, while regional conflicts, climate disaster, high inflation, and most notably, the Ukraine crisis, led to multiple food and humanitarian crises. The IMF predicts the sub-Saharan African economy to slow to 3.6% this year. In the Horn of Africa, the worst drought in 40 years was reported as food production dropped sharply. In Western and Southern Africa, heavy rains and flooding affected lots of people in countries such as Nigeria, Niger, and South Africa. In terms of the security, the goal of silencing the guns remains elusive, as we have seen armed conflict in East DR Congo escalate, while terrorist attacks continued in Sahara region in West Africa over the past year. But despite all these challenges, and despite the road to economic recovery in Africa being difficult and tortuous, we also feel the African continent remains as steadfast as ever in pursuing peace, development, and prosperity. In November, we heard good news from Ethiopia. Under the mediation of the African Union, the Ethiopian government and the Tigray People Liberation Front finally reached a peace accord. This has ignited new hopes for peace following 2 years of war. The peace accord also shows that Africa is solving its own security issues in its own efforts. Building an integrated and prosperous African continent is the common aspiration of the African people. This year, we also see the continent's efforts to cooperate with the major international partners, including China. Over the past years, we are proud to see that China-Africa cooperation on all fronts is bearing tangible fruits. This year, Chinese-built Mombasa-Nairobi Railway in Kenya celebrated its 5th anniversary of commercial operations. A record number of passengers are being transported on the railway for year-end festivities. This year, China-Africa trade remains robust. We are happy to see that more African farm products is making its way to Chinese people's dining tables. We also see Chinese tech firms helping to develop the digital economy in Africa. Furthermore, the flagship China-aided African CDC new headquarters is about to be handed over to the Africa, with a view to greatly boosting the continent's capacity in the health management. Looking ahead to the new year, there will be both challenges and opportunity in the continent. I believe Africa will continue with the positive trends in terms of furthering the integration process, accelerating the digital economy, and improving the quality and the efficiency of international cooperation. As a Chinese reporter, I also firmly believe that China-Africa practical cooperation in various fields will continue to make new heights, and China-Africa community with a shared future will become ever more prosperous and strengthened.